Namaste. We'll take some time for everybody to join us. Welcoming you all in as you gather. Good morning, Judith. Good morning, Sahaja. Thank you for the hearts. So, we welcome each other in, right? We welcome each other into our homes, essentially, because that's where you are, right? Your willingness to tune in, I think it's pretty safe to say, is a willingness to share your time and your space right now. To share your time and your space right now. Where's your heart? Where's your mind? Right? We're all having so much difficulty, right, with so much stuff right now. Thank goodness that we get to share this space, that we get to come into each other's homes and come into each other's hearts and just offer, right? Offer some support, offer some compassion. To be able to relate, I think, is pretty effing helpful right now, right? So make sure you ask yourself, good morning, Liz. Ask yourself how you're doing today. And address it and how you choose to sit, because that's going to, give you the ability to stay a little bit more focused, to stay a little bit more centered as we go along on this little ride together. So choose wisely today how you sit, where you sit. And become aware of what's supporting you. Become aware of what is supporting you, right? If you need to lean against a wall today, by all means do it. If you need to lie on your back, by all means do it. Nice sturdy kitchen chair or perhaps a supported seat on the earth. Good morning, Amanda. All right, my loves. Let us tune in together. Breathe in. Please take a quiet moment, give thanks, and practice gratitude. Right, there's always something to be grateful for. Perhaps it includes this collective, this space that we hold for each other, this opportunity to relate to each other as compassionate human beings. Namaste. Namaste. Every morning when I get in here, I have a bit of a ritual that includes some time with the gong and the singing bowls. I have a nice little stash behind me. And it gives me a bit of a wake up to hear vibration, and the vibration clears some of my stuff. Right now there's a lot of stuff, right? There's a lot of stuff for all of us. It's probably safe to say we're all probably struggling, trying to process all the stuff, right? On top of our personal stuff, right? This universal stuff, this US stuff, right? And, I really do aspire when I hold space for you guys to do two things. One is to offer some sort of refuge from what's occurring. Not that we are hiding, not that we are escaping, but just a few moments of respite, a few moments of peace, right? A few moments of peace. But secondly, that I speak as truthfully as possible. I never plan what I'm going to say, and I never contrive it in such a way that it's creating some sort of a product or a sales pitch. It's just me, right? And as I was saying a moment ago, right, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, right? And I hope that I can. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Mary. I hope that I can offer just a little bit of respite during this extremely, extremely crazy time that we are all living, right? So as I was saying, each morning when I get here, part of my sadhana, part of my practice, ritual, if you will, is to bang the gong and give myself a bit of a sound bath to kind of break up some of my mass, right? Some of my mass build up from emotions and from thoughts. And I noticed today that I was far more focused on the pause in between the hits and the ringing of the hit of the gong or the ringing of the bowls, that there was a bit of spaciousness, that there was a bit of pause in between the sound. And, most typically that word rhythm is defined as like a series or a pattern of sound. Yet, sometimes like a composer will refer to rhythm as the space between the sound. And I think like many of us, probably all of us, we all need to go back to that space, right? And go back to those pauses. When our first crisis hit, I think using the term sacred pause helped people an awful lot, right? That this was really time to go within and, this kind of break from society, if you will, right? This time of shelter and isolation. And even though none of us really wanted to do it, and it was quite an imposition, I think because we are all such big thinkers and big-hearted people, we understood that it was a compassionate act to obviously take down the curve. So we all complied, and we were able to shift it in our mind's eye as this is a sacred pause. This can really be a great time of healing as I isolate myself. And now that we've been in that for a while, and we've had this whole other eruption happening in the US of A, once again, we need to remind ourselves of the pause, right? Of a little bit of suspension, right? That things have gotten quite, frenetic and basically loud, right? Just noise on top of noise, on top of noise, on top of noise, right? I was listening to Buffalo Springfield's For What It's Worth it came up in my playlist this morning when I was doing my practice. And, you know, if you haven't heard that song in a while, I highly encourage you after this to put it on. And, you know, one of the many, many great lyrics within that song is I need to give myself pause for a second, nobody can be right if both sides are wrong. Now, I've completely lost the beauty of the phrase. I apologize. I'm getting a little spun out today. But nobody can be right if both sides are wrong, right? Everybody's fighting so hard right now, right? And at some point, we have to give pause. We have to give pause. I remember doing a piece years ago, my dear friend Lisa Forrest, she's a beautiful, talented poet, and I did this dance piece for a piece of poetry, and one of the phrases was, give pause. And it was repeated in this very kind of rhythmic-like way, surrounded by the suspension of silence, right? And it just made you pay attention. It made you pay attention. The pause is being given to us, right? The pause is being created for us. The space between the noise and the sound is occurring, and really it's up to us, you know, to hold it, to hold space, and to give pause. Because that's where the consciousness grows. That's where the consciousness comes from. Right? Instead of noise on top of noise, rage on top of rage, resistance, 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 right? So I think I do aspire that this might be that time for us, that this, as we choose to open our hearts and open our homes to each other, share space, share time together, that it is a time to give pause, so that we can seek out the compassion of our hearts, right, within the space, within the suspension. Because if we don't stop, things are just going to escalate beyond the crazy erraticness that they are already escalating to, right? It's so important to stand up and have a voice and make noise right now. But we mustn't forget about the pause. So it's equally important for you to sit quiet in deep contemplation, in great compassion, you know, and I feel like, again, we are experiencing a collective grief, right? This is what we're being dealt with today. So, you know, whether this hits you on a personal level or kind of a communal level, whether it's about the virus or all of the occurrences, most recently in Minneapolis, or just your personal stuff, I just encourage you to give pause and to listen to the quiet. I mean, you think about the listening of your own heartbeat and that being a rhythm, right? Of course, the most predominant thing to pay attention in one's heartbeat is the bump, right? The beat, the bump, 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 the bump, 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 right? Yet, there's like a fraction of a second where there's space, right? Because otherwise it would just be bum, 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 you know, like solid, constant, go, 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 right? So we need to train ourselves to go to that space, to go to that quiet, to receive the pause. The pause is being given to us, right? Can we receive it, right? And we're going to hold space for each other to attempt to do that, you know? Because we're all a lot more comfortable, I think. Maybe not comfortable. We're just more used to. We're more used to the noise. I think that's pretty fair to say. We're more used to the noise. So we're learning how to listen to the space in between the craziness of our minds or the angriness of the world, the threat of the virus, etc., right? There's so much, plus your personal stuff, right? And sometimes it feels near impossible to carve out enough space inside, to sit long enough that you can receive the pause, the suspension, the pulse, the quiet. So, let's help each other, right? This might appear to be me, right? But this is us, guys. This is us. I'm just the one representing, right? I'm just the one creating the daily format, okay? And breathe in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Again. One more. Maybe move around a little bit. Move the marbles of your mind around. Let them settle in a new way, right? Move the body around. Let it settle in a new way. And then, we aspire to seek out a seat of comfort. We aspire to seek out a seat of comfort. But if that ain't the case right now, you gotta live your truth. And I know that's challenging, right? How do you sit with your stuff? How do you sit with the stuff of the world, the nation right now? Right? All I can offer you is the space to try, and the encouragement that we're doing it together, And give up some hold. Maybe you let those shoulders drop. Maybe you release your jaw. Maybe you unfurrow your brow. Go to your breath. Allow the pulse of your breath to help you give pause to your existence. Nothing is stopping. Just this gentle suspension of space. This quiet in between the noise. And soften at your belly, your ribs, and your diaphragm. And drop heavily down into your hips, thighs, and tail. Elevate through the waist. And broaden across the collar. And crawl inside your body. Entering the rawness of your heartbeat and the pulse of your breath. Allowing the pulse of the to give you pause. Inserting yourself into the pause of your existence, where there is space, where there is light, where there is compassion, where there is patience. If you have any room inside, slowly begin to stretch the breath. If you're unable to do that right now, just let it be okay. Let it be enough that you're sitting, attempting to find your breath. Your breath is the pause. Your breath is the space. It's a beautiful thing to be quiet amongst each other. This confidence that we do not have to fill every moment with sound. This quiet language that comes through the breath as it suspends us in time and space together. Preparing for our daily lung strengthening exercise. Please be kind to yourself if you're choosing to participate. Try not to rush the breath. If you are unable to experience a 5 count, take it to a 4 or a 3, whatever works for you today. Empty the breath from the underbelly. Breathe in. Retain. Breathe out. Retain. 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 Release the lock from the underbelly, letting your breath go, letting your breath flow. Feel free to move the body. Another few moments where we will hold space for each other to receive the pause that has been given to us. Allowing the pulse of the breath to give the pause. Crawling inside the self, seeking out this place of refuge where your compassionate heart lives. And we are doing this together. Open the eyes and just very gently and slowly move the chest forward on the inhale. And pull the hips back on the exhale. Moving at the chest, inhale. Sliding it back, exhale. Just move in your own way. Keep it going. Move like you. Just breathing and moving. Just a couple more times. And once again, an observance of this quiet, this spaciousness, this pause. Right? It's not an abrupt shut out or shut down, a lockdown, right? It's just a willingness to seek out the quiet amongst the noise and through the chaos, right? Neutralize your chest. Release your shoulders. Release your jaw. And bring your hands to your heart. This gesture of gratitude. Always checking in. Always reminding yourself that you have something to be grateful for. And perhaps it includes this time and this space together. May we continue to give pause. And consciousness, awareness, compassion, it's all inside the space of the pause. Breathe in. Namaste. Thank you for being part, right? We are all part of this world. We are all part of every experience that occurs within this world. And we can all support each other. And now we have just so much to relate to, right? Relatability matters, right? Keeps us together. So a couple of things. I do want to thank you for being part, and I will continue to offer for as long as this goes on. I suppose I'm here every Monday through Saturday. Tomorrow is my day of rest. I'm grateful for you joining in, whether it's once or every day, whatever you can do. And Christina's placing some information up on what we do next. We head over to Zoom for some physical practice. Typically at the studio, this type of a thing would occur, and then we go right into the physical practice. It's all part of the yogic experience, in my opinion. The contributions that have been coming in, I'm extremely grateful for. This is my gig, so it puts food on my table and keeps the electric on and insurance paid at the building. So much gratitude. I really do feel like we are a tribe, and That word has gotten so overused in our contemporary culture, and I never use it, but I'm really, really getting a sense of what that feels like, so thank you. The other thing I want to mention is, I don't know if Peter Horn is on, but he's a wonderful man that has a podcast, and I was a guest on it a couple weeks ago, and it's been dropped today. So there's information on my page, on Shaktima Michelle's page, if you care to listen to the podcast. Peter Horn is the host. Thank you, my loves. Let us seal it up, seal the deal, send it out. You know, if this helps your day in any way, shape, or form, I'd like to think that it's the springboard into your day. You know, it takes you into your walk, it takes you into your meditation, it takes you into your physical practice, whatever it is that you're doing to keep yourself on path. I hope this is kind of a springboard into that, so thank you. And now we spring it out, right? We send it out, right? We got it, we created it, right? We share it. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with an easy heart. Namaste.